All right, welcome everybody. I'm just popping in this Saturday, I guess, brunch time because I promised you guys that I would show you 3 more alternative cards to the January Hearts for You Paper Pumpkin Kit. So if you missed my first one, look for my first, I have it both listed on my Facebook page and on my Pinterest, on my YouTube channel. So you can check that out because some of the things that I cut out in the video 1 are the things that you're going to see me using here in the video 2 with these 3. So we have 3 more alternatives. So we're going to get started with that. Also, I just wanted to point out to you guys, if you are new to watching me, my name is Julie Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you have any questions or if you want to let me know you're watching, you can just type it in the comments and I will try to look up. So let me take care of some quick housekeeping. This is my information on how to contact me. If you do plan on placing an order with me, there's the hostess code for February. Don't forget, celebration is going on. So for every $60 you spend, you get to pick some free, you have a choice between free stamp sets, free ribbon, free embellishments, free paper. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net, and my Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram is Julie's Creative Stamping. My YouTube is juliebrown.juliescreativestamping, and my email is juliescreativestampin without the G at gmail.com. So let's get started. Okay. So again, we are on card number 4. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what pieces I used from the kit and then what pieces I added. And so for card number 4, again, if you missed 1 through 3, it's the other video. I cut down, this is from one of the card bases, and I cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white piece that I put into the kit. We are using a Night of Navy card base. And then we're using the red heart from the kit. We're using this banner from the kit. And it looks like I've got a couple. Do I have a couple? Oh, that's my fingers. Okay. And then we are using this piece that we cut out a frame that I used on, I think it was card 3 in the first set of videos. But this was the negative of that, so we are going to be using that on this card as well. We're also going to be using one of the, let me just pull these out so I have them out. Sorry. We're going to be using one of the stickers from your sticker sheet here. All right, so let's get started for this card. So let's get our stamping done first, and we're going to, on this, we're going to stamp that Celebrate Love. And I've got it on this big huge block. So for those of you that don't know, I travel between Farmington, New Mexico and Albuquerque, New Mexico, because I come down to help my mom get to some medical appointments and stuff, usually the last 2 weeks of every month. And so I am actually in Albuquerque right now. And so, but I had taken all my blocks home because I had a huge event at home that I needed extra blocks for, and I forgot to bring them back. So I only have a few down here to choose from. Alrighty. So we're going to do that Celebrate Love. And then, let me see what we're stamping on the inside here. So for the inside, we're going to bring this in here. And we're going to be using Night of Navy ink and Real Red ink. Sorry, I have to switch my stamps from blocks. I usually have all of them on a block ready to go. But of course, I mean, if you guys are doing Paper Pumpkin, you usually are working with 1 block. So now I'm kind of doing the same thing that you guys have to do. All right, so we're going to take this red one and we're going to stamp it at an angle in this corner. Okay, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to clean this off. Last time I didn't have time to get my chamois wet before, so I was using baby wipes, which I got to admit was kind of a pain in the tush. All right, and then we're going to bring in Night of Navy ink. And we're just going to do a Night of Navy heart on each side of this real red heart. So there's that one. And you can see I'm stamping off, so I'm not stamping the full thing onto that bottom corner. I am stamping off. All right, let's get this cleaned off. And then we're going to come in with the sentiment that says, "You have my heart." Now remember, guys, when you're doing these alternatives, and again, it's just because, you know, I happen to be down at I call it my satellite studio, so I don't have as much stuff down here. But if you're at home and you want to make this something, you don't want to do a Valentine's card, you can absolutely make this birthday, because it says "Celebrate Love" on the front, and you could put "Happy Birthday" on the inside, or you could put "Happy Anniversary," or you could put "Congratulations." This could be a wedding card. So there's so many different sentiments that you could add in. I don't have them all down here with me. Oops. Let me re-ink that. So I'm just working with what I have here, but I'm trying to give you guys some ideas of, you know, how to make it a little bit different if you don't want a bunch of Valentines, or don't need a bunch of Valentines. Not that you don't want them, you don't need them, right? Oops, my head got in the camera. Sorry, guys. All right, there you go. I forgot I can't lean in here because this one is, I think I'm going to try to, I'm at a really short, like, width. This table's not very wide, so again, just getting used to a different place. All right, so then what we're going to do is we are going to bring in this piece here, and I'm just going to use my liquid glue, and I think I have this one that's ready to go. And again, guys, don't forget, if you have any questions about anything that I'm doing, you can ask. This was cut out with the die that is an add-on for the paper pumpkin. So if you guys aren't familiar with our paper pumpkin kits, it's an all-inclusive kit. It comes with everything that you need to make the cards that they have designed. Now, I do these alternative classes for those that subscribe through me. I design six cards for them, and I provide them the kits. So all of the extras, I provide them. And so, so when I'm talking about, like, if you have things at home that you could use for certain things, then that's what I mean by this. But these kits come with, every quarter, they come out with a set of dies that are going to coordinate not with just this month, but all 3 months. So it'll be January, February, and March. So we're going to put that "Celebrate Love" right there. And then, just as a rule of thumb, you don't have to do this. This is just what works best for me. I'm going to be popping this one up. And anytime I'm popping something up, I like to go ahead and put my base on the card front, just so that it's not as hard to get it on the front once I have dimension on it. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put the inside in now, if that made sense. Because sometimes when you start building on those card fronts, and you're just building on, like, this piece here, sometimes, you know, we put a lot of layers on it. Sometimes we do a lot with those, and then it gets problematic when you try to go to get it glued down to the front of your card. So I have just kind of gotten into the habit of, when I know that I'm going to start putting dimension on, I'll build it like you just saw me build it off the card. But now that I'm fixing to add some dimension, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card front, just so it makes it a little bit easier. Everybody has their preference on the way that they do it. And I always tell everybody, then that's the right way for you. So we're going to lay that down like so. And then I'm going to come in with one of these red hearts. And I need to grab my dimensionals. I think I put them all away. Now, I am not using the dimensionals that came in the kit, but absolutely you can be doing that. I'm just grabbing what I have down here. I do have my kit down here. I just, I don't know why I'm choosing not to use those dimensionals, just because these were in the drawer sitting next to me and they were easy to get to. So that's basically my explanation. So I'm just going to pull the backing off of these dimensionals. And then I am going to lay that down right here in the middle, like try to center it the best that I can. Then I'm going to come in with, what size did I use? I think I used one of the large centers here. So I'm going to come in with one of these large centers. And we're just going to put another little heart there. Then I'm going to use, I just saw it laying here. Oh my gosh, this happens to me all the time. So the thread that comes with the kit, I literally like just had it sitting here. Oh my heck. All right, let me see if I can, I may have to pull out another one here. I have a couple of kits here with me, so I'll just pull this out of the other kit until I can figure out what the heck happened. So I'm going to tie a little bow, and I know you guys have seen me do this. This is the bow maker that a friend of mine a long time ago, I'm going to say probably 10 years ago, showed me how to make one of these. And so now this is one of the gifts that I give out when you place your first order for me. But I'm just going to show you guys how I tie. It ties both small bows and big bows. And I'm going to do a small one here. So I'm just using these two legs. And I'm just going to wrap this around and take it off that side. Bring in my snips. Cut that off. I'm going to set that where I know where it is this time. And then you go up through this center hole. And then you want this to kind of be centered right here. So I wrap that around the bottom and pull this up, grab that piece, the little leg or the tail that's on the left side. And then I always try to make sure that I'm tying that right in the center. And there we go. So just want to let you guys know, if you do hear some sound in the background, I am down at my mom's, and she sometimes forgets I'm live, and she will get on phone conversations and she gets animated. So if you do hear talking, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do, because anytime I'm using the twine, I want to take my mini glue dot and kind of roll it up and make a little like ball. That way it'll actually be hidden behind that knot. Otherwise, you'll be able to see it. And then I'm just going to push down really hard on that. And then you trim this the way that you like it. So again, some of you that missed class, this is where you're going to be able to come on and see how to put these together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, I love these little embellishments that came. I think once I get up here, I kind of get into the dark. But they're these just super cute little heart, Flirty Flamingo hearts, and they're kind of sparkly. And even though they don't like show up as crystal clear on here because I'm putting it on a darker color, I still wanted to put a few of these on here because I just thought it would make a really fun accent to this card. All right, so that is Paper Pumpkin Alternative number 3. There we go. I'm just going to set this in front of me so that when I get ready to show you all 3 of these, you guys will, I'll be able to grab that pretty easily. All right, so let's move on to number 5. And again, I'm just going to kind of tell you what pieces that I used out of the kit and what pieces that I add. And like I said, you know, if you're already subscribing through somebody else, great. But if you're not and you'd like to subscribe, then you will you have the opportunity to get these kits, at least the first 3 that I did sent to you. So I provided the basic black back or card base, and then I'm also doing a let's see, what was this? Was this a 4x4? Sorry, I'm using this. I got this glass mat at a estate sale that my mom and I went to. Actually, I think it's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 the other day. And then this, sorry, this piece, I am so sorry. I know you guys can't see the, or maybe you can. There's really like faint hearts on this piece. It's one of the card bases. And I had already cut this left side off. And that pretty much left me with this piece. And so this, oh, actually this piece is 3 7/8 by 4 1/4. So that means this black piece is what is it? Hold on. 4 3/8. So this is 3 7/8. I think this might be 3 1/4. Yeah, this is, I'm sorry, this is 3 1/4. Oh my gosh, I can't say my numbers today. 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then this is 3 7/8 by 4 3/8. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm fumbling with that so much today. All right. And then I provided, now you are going to have a white piece that is left over when you cut the front of this card base away. So always you can always use that for the insides of the card, or you can put in a 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have, I'm just going to use this. And then this piece is cut down to 4 5 1/4. So that was from one of the card bases in your kit. And then we're going to pull in a strip of these white hearts, and then the little banner. And then the other thing that we're going to need, oh, I didn't pull it for this card. What was I doing? Sorry, I just had it sitting. Oh, see, here we go again. I just had it sitting here. So in card number 1, with the little truck, remember we cut out, and we use the center heart. So I told you, make sure that you save this piece, because we're going to be using that in a card. And this is the card. And so let me go in here. I need to grab another piece. Let me find it. You're also going to need one of the marbled hearts. So if you're doing this along with me, grab one of the large marbled hearts. And I'm going to just grab it out of this kit. So you're going to need this heart as well. Okay. And then, oh yeah, okay, that's right. But I'm also going to need, hold on one hot second. I'm also going to need, pull out like two of the strips of hearts, because again, I know I showed this to you in the first video, but because you may not have seen that, I'm going to pull out an extra. We're not going to need all of these, but it's what I use to cut down the hearts so that they are, so that they cut correctly. And that'll make sense in a second. Okay, so what I need out of these, I need 2 sets. I need 1 set of 2, and then I need 3 individuals. And so the way that I have been cutting these, and I'll do this on top of the black so you guys can see, is I use one of these strips as a template. And so because I need 2 together, I'm going to bring this one in from this side, and I'm going to line this up like so. And again, I mean, I'm not expecting anyone to be on with me today, but if you guys are on here and you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Then whoops, that moved. Then I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to make this corner. All right, and then it does leave a little bit of a, that you have to clean up. So there's the 2. Now I need 3 singles. Well, see, this one has already kind of been what I call damaged on this end. Let me get a little bit closer. Let me see if I can get a little bit close. There we go. Not really damaged, but it has a little indentation, so it can't be like a full heart. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over 2, and then I'm going to cut this single, it's going to be still attached to the other one, but there's my single for that side, and I can round that up. Then I'm going to kind of go backwards and go back over here. And do this little turn. So then that makes a good one there. Now, can you see how this one, if I lay it here, you can see it better. See it how it has these little indentions? I'm going to put all the ones that I do this to the side, and then I'm going to come in later and I'm going to do the same process, but it'll be a little bit shorter of a, it'll be a little bit smaller. It'll make it a smaller heart. So like I'm going to do like something like this. So it makes that turn there. And then you have to do a little bit more work with these. But I just wanted to show you how I will fix these later. But in the meantime, I want to get 3 that look the same. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over 2 on this one. And then I'm going to trim this. And then go this direction. And we're going to trim it again. So that's my second one. How many did I say I needed? 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. So then I'm down to those 2 that can be kind of put to fix later. And what am I doing? I need this one. Okay, this is the one that I need. So I'm going to go this way, line it up, and then just kind of make that corner. Alrighty, so there you go. Now I have these 3 little ones that I'll have to fix later, which is not going to be a problem. And then I haven't even cut any of this strip. I was just using it as kind of a template to get those rounds right. And as you can see, there's still area where you can kind of fix them up a little bit. I try not to do too much trimming because then I tend to over trim. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take this piece that has the real faint hearts on it, and we're going to mat it to this black piece. And again, guys, don't hesitate to ask questions if you have questions. Like I said, I'm really not expecting anyone to be live with me. I just decided to do it live, then I didn't have to worry about going back and uploading things. I know Saturdays are super busy days for people, so it's kind of a hard day to be live and expect people to be on with you. All right. And then what I'm going to do, let me move this to the side. This to the side, this to the side. And I'm just kind of moving some stamps around again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start building this on the card base. Just because now I'm starting to layer, so I want to just go ahead and get it on the card front so that it makes it a little bit easier. So now what I'm going to do here is I am going to wrap this around this bottom edge, and I'm going to leave enough room for me to tie a bow. You guys know I really do not like tying bows freehand. But I want to show you a trick that I have found that kind of helps. And so I think I do have a little bit of my tape runner. I forgot my tape runner too. I mean, I have like, I can use a little bit of it. So this is going to be the time where I'm going to use it. I've got to just bring down more of the refills the next time I come down. I've got to write myself a list of what I need down here. All right. So this is my, my bow, and that's a little high on that side, sorry. See, we all have to fiddle with stuff to make it work the way we want to, no matter how long you have been stamping. All right, so I need more on this side than I need on this side. So I'm just going to pull that across like so. But what I have found is that if you go ahead and attach this like this, then it kind of holds a little bit better for you, so it makes tying the bow a little bit easier. Like not a ton easier, but it does make it a little bit easier because you've got something that kind of holds it. So then I'm just going to tie that. Now, one thing that I have done in the past, and I'll go ahead and do it this time, is I will go ahead and tie a knot before I tie my bow, just so that it holds where I want it to hold. And this is only for those of you that are struggling with getting it to kind of stay still so that you can get the bow. If you're good at tying bows, then you don't need to worry about anything that I'm talking about right now, because you've got this, right? And I'm just going to shorten these up because I don't want these to be, I don't want this to be a really big, like I don't want the loops to be super big here. I want them to be smaller. So I'm just kind of pulling those in, and then I'll trim all this when I get it on the card front and get all the other pieces kind of in place. So I'm going to bring this back, and since I did have that out, we'll just go ahead and use that for this one. All right. And this is a silicone mat, if you don't know what that is. And the reason I use that, because I don't know if you noticed, like once I have tape on the back, I can lay it down. So like if I've messed something up or I need to redo it, I can lay it on my silicone mat, and then that tape, it just comes right off of that. It doesn't stick to it. Whereas if I was laying it on this paper, it obviously would adhere to the paper, and it would be harder for me to get it up off that paper. So I have probably 5 or 6 of these silicone mats that I use on a consistent basis. Okay, and so because I've got the bow to this right side, I went a little bit closer to this edge and left a little bit more of an edge on this side. That's just something I wanted to do for this particular card. All right, so now we're going to come in with this piece. You want to make sure that your hearts are, you don't want to put them in upside down. And I know it's really hard for you guys to see these hearts, but I am making sure that I have them right side up. So just, you know, caution for you as well, to make sure that when you're laying these down that they are in the right direction. And I cut everything like just about 1/8 of an inch bigger, just because I wanted a really tiny like outline. I didn't want like a huge outline here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take this marbled heart and we're going to fit it so that it fits in here, but I kind of want it angled. So it's going to kind of be at a right, where it's angled to the right. Oh, here we go. Come on. It would be nice if you would like work with me today. Have you guys ever had that? I mean, those of you that do videos or teach a class where you're, when you're sitting at home and you're just doing this on your own, everything works just great. But the minute you try to do a class, it's like, oh my heck. Okay, then what we're going to do is, and my class was not thrilled about this, but when we have this champagne stuff and these foil pieces, I like to really get the most out of them. So we're actually going, this is the negative left over after using the word love. And so we do want to try to keep these little tiny pieces as well. And I am going to, I think I'm going to go ahead and fussy. What do I want to fussy cut it? Yeah, I think I'll fussy cut it because I know that when I had my class cut right on the line, they said that was a lot harder. So I'm not leaving a huge fussy cut line. This is probably one of the skinniest outlines that I've left when I fussy cut. Because what that'll do is it'll give it the look as if we had it'll make it look like we've matted it when we actually haven't, because we're just cutting it out of this. And so we're just going to go around this. And I'm fussy cutting a little bit slower because I am doing like a lot skinnier lines, meaning I'm not leaving as much space. And especially like right there between that area. Then we're just going to turn this and we're going to come back up. I'm going to kind of just move that out of the way so I can get this snipped right there and then continue in this area. I'm actually going to kind of bend that just for a second just to get it out of my way. And then we're just going to come up, and again we're just going to leave a little bit of an outline, not a bunch. And we're just going to be cutting around it like so. Now if you want to cut right on that champagne edge of that foil, then do it that way. That's what I did with my first one. And I'm actually doing this design a little bit different too. And I'll show you the differences here in just a second. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to get underneath one edge, and I'm just going to slowly pull this up. And you can see how it's leaving these little like dashes in there. And I'll show you that in just a second. So last time I put my other frame, my other heart on here, this time I kind of want this part to be under that frame. And so we're going to just lay this down like so. All right. And it does look like it's been matted a little bit. Then you're going to pull this piece off, and that's going to fit right in the middle there. And then you're going to pull this little piece off, and it's going to go right there for the O. And then there's these two, like, I mean, these are like so tiny. I don't even know if you guys can see that there's those little dashes. These are the hardest ones. Just trying to get a hold of it and then get it on there, because it's really hard to see. Now you could come in with a either a champagne colored or gold colored gel pen and draw those on, but I just went ahead and put those on there. Okay. So that's using the negative of that word love. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, the last time I put this on first, and because I wanted the love on top of it, but I didn't like the way that it kind of laid, and so I like it better this way. Even though it does cover some of that L, I still think it works fine. So now I'm just going to come in with this piece and we're going to adhere this. And again, this is that leftover piece from the heart that you cut for card number 1 with the truck. I tried to be really good about using all of the pieces that we cut out, like the leftover pieces. So like this was kind of the leftover piece from that one. Now, if you don't like that the L is behind that heart, you can put it on front of it. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so now we're going to come in with our mini dimensionals, or the dimensionals from your kit, because those fit perfect. And where's all my little hearts? Okay. And then we're going to bring in these little hearts that I took the time to cut. And these are going to be popped up. So I'm just going to put a mini dimensional behind each one of these. And then this first one is going to set right here. And then this one is going to set right above that one, like so. And then our next one, let me find the front. I think that's, yeah. Okay, is going to go right over here. And then this last one's going to just kind of be, that's not looking quite, I'm not liking the way that heart, oh, I do like it that way. Okay, I'm good. I was looking at it from the back side and I wasn't really liking it, so. And then this one is just going to set right up here. Then we are going to come in with our inks. We're going to use that little tiny banner that I told you to get from your kit, which is this one right here. And we're going to stamp the U. And let me clean that. All right, and then this actually needs to pop up. So because it needs to do that, I need some like little tiny lines. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some really thin pieces right here that will work for this. Okay, and then I'm going to pull these because what I'm trying to do is get some dimensional on the top and on the bottom, but I don't want it to touch the twine, because then that kind of makes it pop up even more off the page, and I want it to be level. What I'm trying to do is get that twine to run right down the middle of this. It was the idea here. So let me, well, maybe I can get that off. What the heck? This one is not wanting to let go of its little piece of paper. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Let me get these two off. This one is just being stubborn. Wow. And I don't have my tweezers here. Actually, that whole thing pulled off, so let me pull a different one. I've never had it do that before, so there we go. That one will come off. This one's being good. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this, and this is going to sit over here like so. Then we're going to come in with these cute little hearts. And then, you know, this is where you get to have some fun and just kind of place these where you want them on your card front. just going to grab 3 of these. And we always try to do even odd numbers. And then for the inside of this one, again, I'm just going to grab a sentiment that's sitting right here close. So I think this one is the one that says love you. And I think this is the one that says you have my heart. Now these stamps are the stamps that come in the Paper Pumpkin kit. The first time you order your Paper Pumpkin kit, they send you a block. The rest of the time, they do not send blocks. You've just got to use the block that you get the first time. And then I want to come in with this heart that is also part of the stamp set. So this is what the stamp set looks like that you get. It has all of these different stamps in it in the Paper Pumpkin kit. Now our Paper Pumpkin kits are different than our regular kits. You can order regular kits by going online and going to the kits. And again, some of them are stamping kits, some of them are crafting kits, some of them are card making kits. Some you need to stamp, some you don't have to stamp. Those you get to know what you're getting. The Paper Pumpkin is always a surprise every month, which can sometimes be good, can sometimes not, if you end up not really loving the kit for the month, which can happen. But in most cases, that's, you know, again, if you just really don't like the kits, then that's why you want to do these alternatives, because then you can make them into something, one, that works for you, because, you know what kind of cards you need for your family and friends, and, you know, but that's why we do these classes, is to help you guys be a little bit more creative if, you know, it wasn't your favorite kit. I'll be honest with you. I really haven't had a kit that I absolutely do not like. I mean, at first I might go, but then when I start making them, I always just fall in love with them. So, but maybe I'm just really easy to please. All right, so here's card 5. And it just says, love you, you have my heart. All right, so we are on card 6. We're on our last card for these alternative Paper Pumpkins. All right, so for this one, let's see what I did. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, stuff's falling everywhere. Stay there. All right. So I included a basic white card base. I also included a real red that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. A basic white piece, 2 basic white pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4 is what I provided. And then what you need to pull out of your kit is the marbled heart, this champagne foil heart, the flirty flamingo with the gold flecking, and this, and then I put this little strip of white in here as well. And then you're going to need the love, the not the negative love, but the actual love word. And I've got to pull another one out, sorry, out of your kit. And I'm gonna, well, maybe. Sorry, I don't know which kit I put those in, so hold on one second. This will give you guys time to get your stuff together so that you can do this with me. Now understand, like some of the things that I'm showing you, I did have to go into 2 different kits to do because I used a lot of this stuff, but just know that you can find, I know we've had dies that cut out the love, and you can do that if you decide, oh, I really like this card and I want to make a bunch of them, because these only came with 1 sticker sheet. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to emboss And so I'm going to be using the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. So that's what I brought in for this card. You know, another thing that's cool about paper pumpkins is you can mix and match with past paper pumpkins, or you can bring in some of your other supplies, such as an embossing folder, like I'm doing. And, oh, sorry. And you can make some changes to your cards that way. So, you know, most of us have a lot of the supplies, and so it's not hard to go and pull from your stash, because, you know, I do believe that if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you, you know, have Stampin' Up, whether it's old Stampin' Up stamps, new Stampin' Up stamps, old embossing folders, you know, Paper Pumpkin is the perfect time to go start grabbing some of that stuff and seeing how you can stretch these cards from making 9 cards to as many as you possibly can to get the best value, you know. Or if you're like me, before I started designing for this class, I was perfectly happy just making the cards that came in the kit. So 2 ways to look at it. All right. So I think we will get the stamping out of the way, and then this card's actually going to go together pretty darn quick. Okay, so then for the, so that was the embossed. And then for the inside of the card, we are going to, gosh, I guess I used You Have My Heart a lot. That must have been my favorite. What's the other saying? Maybe I'll do the other saying. Oh, You're My Favorite. Yeah, I think I'm going to change this one up and put You're My Favorite, just because I've been using the other sentiment a lot. Because I kind of like that. You have my heart. You know, that just tells people they really matter to you, which is always a good thing to let people know that. Most of you know my story, and you know that I had a huge loss in my life, and so I find it really important to, when you have the opportunity, to let people know that they matter to you, whether they're your friends or your family, that you need to take the opportunity to do that, because you never know when you will no longer have that moment. All right, let's see if I can do this straight. Wasn't perfectly straight, but it's good enough for me. So I'm really big on telling people, you know, let people know they matter to you, so that you have no regrets. All right, so let's, and I know that Valentine's Day can also be a very hard day for people, especially for those that, you know, have wanted to be in relationships and have either just gotten out of a relationship, they're still waiting for that special someone in their life, or they've lost their partners. It can be a hard holiday. So again, make sure that you're giving out lots of either virtual hugs or real hugs, or checking on people that you know might be missing somebody at this time of year. All right, so here we go. Or you can be like me and you have a bunch of grandkids that would really love to get, they just like getting cards in the mail. They feel special when something's actually addressed to them and not just their mom and dad. Right? All right, so there's the inside. And so for the front, we're just going to use liquid glue, and we're going to glue this down in place. Whoopsies. And again, if you guys are just coming in and just joining me, these are the alternative cards that I designed for the January 2025 Hearts for You Paper Pumpkin Kit. I like to use liquid glue when I have, like especially the 3D embossing, because I feel like it gets in all the, crevices, and it will hold better together. Oh, I needed a red one, not a, okay. Sorry, I pulled the wrong heart. We don't want the Flirty Flamingo heart here. We want one of the red hearts. Or I guess if you're really liking Flirty Flamingo, you can do that. Do what you want. Okay, so we're going to take our red heart, and it's going to lay down first at an angle on kind of the right-hand side. Alrighty, so that one is going to go about right there. Then we're going to come in with this detailed champagne. I'm going to turn that over on this mat so that I can get some glue to get in all these little spots. And you notice I'm just kind of putting little dots. This Tombow glue is a really good glue. I've been teaching some junk journal classes and getting the opportunity to kind of test some different glues. And I have to say that, you know what, the Tombow glue is rocking it out. So it is a very good glue. All right, so then we're going to just lay this across that one like so. Then we're going to come in with that little Flirty Flamingo one with the gold flecks. It's coming in next. I didn't pop any of these up because I felt like I gave it enough dimension with this, with the embossing folder. Okay, then we're going to come in and we're going to pull out this. All right, I want that to stay there, little guy. This is not wanting to pull apart from that. There we go. I got it to stay. So we're going to pull up this delicate die cut. Now remember, we just cut out that for that last card, but this is what it looks like when you just pull it off. And this is going to go across the bottom here. Like so, and we're just going to push that down in place. And I kind of give that a good little rub because, again, there's dimension, right? So we could lose some of our ability to stick if you're not careful with that. And then I'm just going to bring in that U again. We're going to stamp this on this, and then we're just going to fussy cut around this edge. Hey, Wendy from Winnipeg, welcome. Well, I'm on my last card. These are Paper Pumpkin alternatives. I did another video with the first 3 that I did, and then these are my last 3. But I'm glad you popped on in. It's always nice to have people here with me. So I just stamped that, fussy cut. I was trying to keep this kind of as white as I could, and letting the hearts and the sentiment be the pop of color on this. And so that's why I'm not matting this particular one. So I'm just going to put the U right there. And then if you guys want to, you can add some of those little hearts to this. That would be super cute too. But I was trying to keep this one fairly simple. And so it says, love you. Okay, so here are the 3 that I did today. So those are my 3 alternatives. And let me get this out of the way so you can see them a little bit better. So there's my 3 alternative cards for today's class. And again, if you want to see the first 3, because a lot of these, like this piece and this piece, came from things that I cut and put on the first 3 cards. So yay, watch the replay. Okay, Wendy. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me again. If you think you're going to like Paper Pumpkin and you're not already subscribing with somebody else, you can scan that QR code with the camera on your iPhone or smartphone. It'll lead you straight into registering for the monthly subscription for Paper Pumpkin. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me. Really appreciate you guys being here. Sorry it took me a couple of days to get these last 3 on here, but those are my 6 alternatives. If I had a little bit more time to play with it, I could probably come up with more, but I'm happy with those 6. So if you missed my first one, go look at my first one, and then some of these pieces and parts will make a little bit more sense because you'll see how we cut them in the first one and then we used them for this one. So guys, thank you. Wendy, thank you for joining me. I was so glad to have you here today. It's so much more fun when someone's on with me. So anyway, guys, this is how you can get in touch with me if you have any questions on anything you've seen me do. And so everybody have a great rest of your week.